Growing up and watching my parents struggle, it was really hard. So my main motive was to help my family.
Proudly representing his home of South Central Los Angeles, California, Diego Pacheco.
I weathered the storm and I felt something I had never felt before.
Spot for stop. Pacheco all over him.
A real superstar in the making.
Diego Pacheco continues to live up to the hype.
I first started boxing when I was 10 years old. I loved every sport, but once I tried boxing, it was different. I loved it so much, and just not having to rely on anyone, and it's just me in there taking care of business. I really fell in love with that, with being in control and knowing that if I put the work in, the results were going to be there. Boxing is a very hard business. It's not easy to get to the level where I'm at, and you definitely don't want to just throw it away, by making a bad decision. So everything is perfectly calculated. I've never felt like I've been in a rush. I feel like everything will fall into place. I'm only 25, so I want to be able to share the ring with all those guys. All the Jaime Munguia and Billy Iglesias, all the top guys in the division. I feel like I'm at an age where, God willing, I'll be able to face all of them. I want to become a champion sooner than later, but I trust in my team, I trust in Matchroom, and for now we're here putting the work in and doing everything necessary to get there. So when I met my wife, I got really close to her grandparents because I never had my grandparents, so I got really close to them.
Diego's phenomenal. I mean, as a person, as a fighter, he's good looking, he has great charisma, and he's absolutely a crossover candidate outside of boxing as well.
I have a new trainer now. I felt like we needed someone who's been at that high level, who's been a world champion, who's been in the corner of a lot of world championship fights, and Buddy McGurr, I feel was a perfect guy.
Roll out. There we go. First, you two got to click. You know what I mean? Then you got to see what makes them tick and what don't make them tick. I have the right hand to that now. This young man has a lot of talent, and to be honest, I don't believe he's scratched the surface yet with his talent. He's got a long ways to go.
In the past, I feel like I've had coaches who just let stuff slide because of my height and things I can do. They thought I could get away with certain things, but Buddy's a real old school fighter who, everything has to be on point, everything has to be a certain way, and I love his boxing IQ. I love the way, he likes to stick to the jab, and I feel like that's just what I needed, to get to that next level.
Bring both feet. There you go, that's it. Give me some after the 1-2 though, sir. He's a young man that's willing to learn.
We get in there.
A lot of fighters, you say something to them, they always got an answer. I mean, yeah, I know, but if you know, you won't need me. If I say something to him or show him something, he'll try and do it, and bam. And then when he makes a mistake, before I can correct him, he'll say I messed up.
Okay, now drop to your left as you do it. Thank you. There you go.
The notch you put in these gloves, man.
We're not just looking for people who are outstanding inside the ring, but also outside the ring. And to see the type of man he is from a family perspective just made an immediate connection with myself and my business partner.
So here comes one of the best super middleweight boxers in the to Pacheco.
Sean McCalman, that was a very tough fight. It's crazy because that whole camp, my daughter obviously wasn't sleeping through the night. She was a newborn, and then we get to fight week, and we're in a hotel, and it's me, my wife, and my daughter. And I'm like, I need to get another room because I'm not going to be able to sleep, and it's fight week. Rest is really important. And somehow, some way, she slept through the whole night that first day, and then the whole fight week, she just started sleeping through the whole night. And I'm like, wow, that's God, trying to keep us focused and ready for the fight.
And they'll slug it out.
till the bell.
Wow.
And a nice mid-fight adjustment for Diego Pacheco may have clinched this victory.
Lucky, I remember going into the fight, I knew he was going to be a tough fighter. You know, I prepared really hard for that fight, and I felt great. I felt like I was in the best shape I had been in a while for that fight, and yeah, I remember going in there and really just picking him apart with my jab, with my long punches, and in that fourth round, digging down to the body. I think it was like the first body shot I threw the whole fight.
The only thing I would like to see more from Pacheco is just body shots. Other than that, I mean, it's a solid performance right now that I'm enjoying.
There's the body shot right on time.
And it landed perfect, and he didn't get up after that.
It is over. Diego Pacheco back on the knockout train as he picks up the 18th of his sensational young career.
Look, come here, let's play with the train, mira. Mira, wow. De arriba. This is new. I just built this for her while she was at my mom's house. So she's all excited about this. ¿Verdad que sí? Train, you gonna play with the ABC now? Mira. Okay, ABC. You wanna play with the ABC? ¿Cuál es aquí? ¿Cuál es? Clyde. E. My dad was a very present dad. He worked all day in the morning, you know, but once he got home, it was all about his kids. It was all about dedicating all his attention to us and really trying to form us into the men that we are today, you know, me and my brother. There's things that are bigger than boxing for sure, you know, and for me that's family. And being a father, you know, it's taught me so much and it's molded me to the man I am today. And, you know, I thank this little girl for that. Cute. That's cute, baby. I'm always shadowboxing at home and stuff, so she'll try to like mimic me and shadowbox as well. But and obviously when we watch my videos and stuff, like as soon as we put on YouTube, she just point at the TV and say, "Daddy, Daddy," you know. So that's pretty cool. But definitely changed me. Definitely made me more mature and more responsible more than anything. I don't want my daughter to see me all beat up, you know. So I'll be working on my defense. I remember as a kid, you know, obviously being tall, you know, I remember my dad, coaches would think he'd lie about my age because I was so tall. They'd be like, I'd go in there, "Oh yeah, he's 13, weighs this much." "Oh, he's not 13, how the hell is tall ass kid 13? And tell him like, "Your kid is very special. Make sure you take care of him and, you know, push him." So my dad did. You know, he'd wake up at 5 a.m., go to work, come home from work, and he'd pass by my school to pick me up. And we'd get home, we'd eat, he'd shower, and we'd go to the gym every single day. I was an 8-time national champion as an amateur, and I remember the first national tournament I went to was in Kansas City. And I remember my dad works a regular job, you know, he doesn't have extra money for these trips. I remember him telling me like we're gonna make this happen. You better go over there and win. You know, so the pressure was on, you know. I'm like, my dad didn't just invest all this money for me to go over there and lose. So I went in there with that mentality where I'm not letting this beat me, and I won the whole tournament, came back a national champion, and I can only imagine what my dad was going through at the time. You know, mentally as a man, it's not easy for sure.
When you're in a position where you're not just boxing and you have another place to go, where you can also forget about boxing, I believe that that's extremely important for fighters, that they can walk away from the ring and be good family men, productive people outside of the ring, and Diego has that.
Come here, Clyde. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Good boy. Since I was a kid, I've been knocking guys out, you know, so I've always known I've had the power and speed. But I remember there was times where I would spar guys and I hit them so hard and they just wouldn't go down, you know. So that's when, you know, I kind of learned that not every guy is gonna go down. When I sparred Canelo, I was 18 or 19 years old, and I remember going in there very excited, you know. Obviously, I grew up watching Canelo on TV, and he was a super cool dude. And when we got in the ring, I felt something I had never felt before when I punched at him first, and then he'd do a couple rounds with the other guys and then put me in again at the end. So I'm like, okay, he must like the work if he's putting me in more rounds than the rest of the guys.
There's things that he can do that I don't think he knows he can do yet. You know what I mean? Things that I see that he has the ability to do. So the key is not to throw everything at him at once.
As a kid, I never thought about being famous. You know, I never thought about giving out autographs or any of those things, and I always thought about just helping my parents. That was my main focus. I feel like a lot of people want certain fighters to be a certain. We're all in. We're just looking for the biggest fights possible and to really build that legacy. Don't miss